Alright, so here's the deal. In this video, we're going to talk about the currently circulating Zenless Zone Zero 2.2 banner leaks, what they could mean for your pulls, team building, and resource planning, and why the community is both excited and salty about it. We're going to go over every piece of info that's out there right now, highlight where things are still uncertain, connect it to past Hoyoverse patterns, and mix in some personal thoughts so it's not just a wall of numbers. If you're new or casual, don't worry. I'll give you enough context so you can follow along without having to memorize the entire ZZZ meta. If you want to save up to 23% on your Zenless Zone Zero top-ups, check out lootbar.gg. Here you can buy 3,280 monochromes for only $39, while it's $50 in-game. So this way you're saving $11 on Lootbar. I just entered my UID, picked my server, no password needed. And just like that, the monochromes appeared on my account. And look, I still got the first-time double bonus, same as with the in-game top-up. Lootbar has over 20,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot and more than 90,000 positive user reviews across Hoyoverse games. I've been using it for over a year now, even for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. New users also get an extra 10% off coupon, so click the link in the description and start saving today. So, the leak everyone's talking about goes like this. Phase 1 would feature Seed, a brand new S-rank electric attacker, and a trigger rerun alongside her signature W engine. Phase 2 would bring Orphe, another new S-rank, this time a fire attacker with Aftershock support elements, and an Evelyn rerun with her own signature W engine. Sanby nowhere in sight. Haramasa? Still missing, which at this point is almost becoming a meme in the community. Important to say up front, this is not confirmed. Rerun order and even pairings have been changed before, right before live streams. In Honkai Star Rail, we literally saw reruns get swapped a day before the program, so keep that in mind. Let's break down why this pairing is so interesting, and for some, frustrating. Starting with Seed, the early info points to him being an electric attacker without any Aftershock mechanics in his kit. That's important because it means he's not competing with Sanby in the Aftershock slot, and he doesn't naturally benefit from someone like Orphe. Instead, Seed's ideal partners would be universal supports and stun enablers. Think Trigger, Astra, or Fufu. Trigger in particular works beautifully because she can keep enemies controlled, and Seed can just focus on dealing consistent damage without having to set up Aftershock windows. Then there's Orphe. Her appeal is very different. She's looking like an Aftershock support who extends a team buff's duration when Aftershock is triggered and deals strong off-field damage herself. If you're in Sanby main, this is the dream. Orphe amplifies Sanby's playstyle in a way no one else currently does, which is exactly why so many players are baffled that she's not launching alongside Anby. Instead, she's being paired with Evelyn, who doesn't care about Aftershock at all. That makes Orphe much less of an immediate must-pull, unless her own personal DPS turns out to be high enough to carry in non-Aftershock teams. Now Evelyn, she's still one of the highest raw single-target damage dealers in ZZZ, and while her signature W engine is absolutely her best in slot, thanks to absurd stats and strong passives, she's perfectly viable without it. What's funny is this isn't just about do I want Evelyn, it's about what happens when you put Evelyn and Trigger in the same patch. Both are high-priority pulls for a lot of accounts, both have engines worth chasing, and both eat a massive chunk of your resources if you try to get them with gear. It's the perfect storm for FOMO, which Hoyoverse has done before. Remember in other games how they've paired a fan-favorite rerun with a brand new unit to drain currency before the next big thing? This feels like that move. Let's talk synergy, because that's where this patch could get messy for people. If you already own Sanby, the absolute god comp for Aftershock would be Sanby Trigger Orphe. Trigger keeps things under control with stun, Orphe extends and buffs Aftershock, and Sanby dumps huge damage into that window. But in this leak, you can't get both Trigger and Orphe without splitting your pulls across phases, which is intentional. If you don't have Anby but still want an electric lane, Seed Trigger Astra is looking like the self-contained alternative. And for fire lanes, Evelyn Trigger Astra or Evelyn Astra Kaleda still hold up very well in most content. W-engine priorities in this leaked patch are another can of worms. Trigger's signature is the single biggest upgrade here. It's her biggest single-slot upgrade and strongly recommended if she's going to be a long-term investment in your account. Evelyn's is next in raw power, but it's a luxury if you're on a budget. Orphe and Seed signatures are still in wait-and-see mode until we get the final stats, but historically, most brand-new W engines end up being best for their intended unit and a luxury for everyone else. If you're free-to-play or low-spending, you almost always prioritize characters over weapons, except Trigger's case, where skipping her engine leaves a lot of her potential on the table. There's also the historical pattern element to think about. Hoyoverse has a habit of not rerunning two characters who directly compete for the same slot in the same phase, so no Sanby with Orphe makes sense from a business standpoint. But they also like to push wallets by putting two desirable units in the same patch, like Trigger and Evelyn here, forcing players to make painful choices or risk blowing their savings before March 2nd. That's why I'm saying, don't lock your pulls in yet. Wait for the 2.2 livestream to confirm phase order, rate ups, and any last-minute kit changes. Orphe's Aftershock behavior and Seed's final damage multipliers in particular could shift their value quite a bit. So how should you approach it? If you've got Sanby and you want the dream Aftershock team, you're going to have to make a hard call between getting Trigger first, ideally with her W engine, or gambling on Orphe in the second phase. If your fire lane is weak, Evelyn is still a monster and will carry you through almost anything, even without her weapon. If you're hunting for electric DPS without Anby, Seed plus Trigger gives you a complete core right away. And if you've only got budget for one engine this patch, make it Triggers. The bottom line is this: if the leak is correct, 2.2 is going to be a very expensive patch for anyone chasing meta teams, and Hoyoverse knows it. That's why I'm curious. What's your priority? Are you going to grab Trigger and her engine no matter what? Finally pick up Evelyn, or maybe skip entirely to save for what's rumored in 2.3? Let me know in the comments, because the strategies are going to be very different depending on your current roster. That's my breakdown of the leaked 2.2 banners, the synergies they could unlock or block, and the tricky resource decisions they might force. If you want more deep dive discussions like this with a mix of meta-analysis, historical patterns, and personal insight, hit that subscribe button so you're ready for the next big update. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description.